You are probably living under a cave if you say that you don't know what is Dolo 650. Dolo 650, the life-saving drug that we encountered during pandemic, and its parent company, the Micro Labs Limited, is accused of giving freebies worth 1000 crore rupees to doctors so that they prescribe Dolo 650 over all other paracetamol drugs. And the case is under sub judice now in the Supreme Court. What is this case all about in the Supreme Court regarding Dolo 650 and its parent company? Let us find out in this podcast. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Geeky Pod with Manas. So let me ask you a question. You are feeling feverish with body pain or headache. What's the medicine that comes to your mind that will give you relief from these symptoms? You will probably say Dolo 650. But had I asked the same question to you before the year 2020, the answer would have been different. You would have said a different medicine name, or you would have said the generic paracetamol. So, what is this Dolo 650? Dolo 650 is the name given to the fixed dose combination drug containing 650 mg of antipyretic drug paracetamol. It is usually taken to treat fever and pain, as it also contains analgesic drug. If we go by the definition, there are several other medicines available in the market which serves the same purpose. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has given rise to Dolo 650 at an unprecedented rate, that now it is a household name. I believe if not all of us, definitely most of us will have this Dolo 650 in our medicine kit. A Dolo 650 strip of 15 tablets costs approx 35 rupees as of today. Now the question arises, how this one brand became a household name when there are several other cheaper options available in the market? Dolo 650 is made by Bangalore-based Micro Labs Limited. The use of the drug skyrocketed during the COVID-19 pandemic, since the main symptoms for this virus were fever and pain. This helped the company gain a 138% hike in revenue, with sales going up by about 290%. This is often attributed to the excess marketing done by the Micro Labs, followed by the low supply of other paracetamol brands in the market. So what is this controversy around this drug Dolo 650? Recently, maybe in the last year 2022, the Supreme Court of India in a PIL was told by an NGO that the Central Board of Direct Taxes has accused the pharma company manufacturing Dolo 650 tablets of distributing approx 1000 crore rupees of freebies. Freebies means free gifts to doctors for prescribing this drug. A bench of Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and A.S. Bopanna was told by senior advocate Mr. Sanjay Parekh and advocate Aparna Bhatt that the market price of any tablet up to 500 mg is regulated under price control mechanism of the government. But the price of drug above 500 mg can be fixed by manufacturer Pharma company. He said that to ensure higher profit margin, the company distributed freebies to doctors to prescribe this Dolo 650 drug of dosage 650 mg capacity. Advocate Parekh added that it is an irrational dose combination and said that pharmaceutical companies are saying they are not liable as the bribe takers are doctors, and in foreign countries they have legislation to curb these unethical marketing practices. In the PIL, the petitioner have also prayed that a statutory code of ethical marketing with penal consequences be established for the pharma industry to curb such practices. Because the existing code is voluntary, unethical practices continue to proliferate, something that surfaced during the pandemic. In August 2022, the National Medical Commission (NMC) asked the Income Tax Department for details of doctors who allegedly received these freebies from 6 pharma companies, including Micro Labs, against which raids were conducted by IT department last year. As per law, Indian Medical Council regulations prescribed a code of conduct for doctors in their relationship with pharma and allied health sector, and barred them from accepting gifts and entertainment, travel facilities, hospitality, cash, etc. But the regulation does not apply to drug companies. So, doctors' licenses are cancelled for misconduct which is actuated, encouraged, aided and abetted by pharma companies. In a similar case, a bench of Justice U. Lalit and S. Ravindra Bhatt held that the gifting of freebies to health professionals is clearly prohibited by law and not allowed to be claimed as a deduction. According to a statement given out by ANI, Micro Labs shrugged off the allegations, claiming to have made only Rs 350 crore during the pandemic times. They also stated that Dolo 650 was not the only drug whose income and production skyrocketed, and gave examples of COVID protocol drugs like vitamin C, which saw huge sale and revenue during COVID. Here, the point of contention is it fair for pharma companies to use their money and power machinery to promote their drugs when the end consumer is having cheaper options available in the market but are being forced to buy the higher priced drug? This is a blatant cheating with the consumer. Even though this is sub judice case and is pending for hearing at the Supreme Court soon, the discussion is valid. Should the pharma companies cheat the end consumer like this? Should the doctors be bribed and promote the high priced product even though the drugs might be useful for the remedy? This is unethical practice on their part as well. The preferential treatment being met with certain drugs in medical domain is not a new concept. This is known to all stakeholders, the pharma company, the medical practitioner, and the end consumer as well. However, when the stakes are high and a company is gaining and the end consumer is becoming victim of money and PR machinery, this raises a couple of questions which needs definitive answers. Now, as the hearing begins in Supreme Court, we will get to know what's the truth and what's not. Alright friends, that's it for this week's Food for Thought. Let me know what you think of this episode. You can like, share, comment or follow me on Spotify or YouTube. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Keep listening to podcast as things which cannot be read or watched over a video can always be heard over any podcast. Thank you. Have a great weekend.